Friends, let me ask you something. Have you ever woken up from a dream so vivid, so powerful, that for a moment you actually believed it was real? Imagine this. You open your eyes one morning and you're not in your usual bedroom. Instead, you're lying in a massive suite inside a palace so grand it feels like something out of a movie. You step outside and there's a line of luxury cars waiting for you. Ferraris, Lamborghinis, Rolls-Royces, all gleaming in the sunlight, all yours. You walk back inside and every corner of the palace whispers wealth, freedom, and power. You don't check price tags anymore because price tags don't matter. You don't ask, can I afford this? You ask, do I want this? You can travel anywhere in the world, stay anywhere, eat anything, live without limits. Sounds like a dream, right? But here's the real question. Is it only a dream, or could it actually be your reality? Most people think there are only two ways to get there. Either you're born into it, your ancestors built empires and left you fortunes, or you hit the jackpot, win the lottery, and luck hands you a golden ticket. But what if I told you there's another way? No, I'm not talking about some shady scheme that promises to double your money in 25 days. I'm talking about something far more powerful, far more real. The actual science of becoming rich. Yes, you heard me right. Science. And before you dismiss it, think about this. Everything in life that works in a predictable way, everything that has components, processes, and results, that's science. So why wouldn't wealth have its own science too? Over a century ago in 1910, an American author named Wallace D. Wattles wrote a book that shook the world. The title was simple, The Science of Getting Rich. But don't let the simplicity fool you. This book changed lives. It influenced some of the greatest success stories in history, people who went from nothing to everything. Wattles revealed something most people never realize. The true purpose of human life is growth, expansion, development. But here's the catch. You can't fully grow, you can't fully live unless you have money. That may sound harsh, but think about it. Without money, people spend their lives chasing basic needs, food, shelter, survival. And when you're stuck in survival mode, how can you chase your dreams? How can you fulfill the purpose you were born for? The truth is, every single person has the right to be rich. Not just the privileged few, not just the lucky ones. Everyone. Being rich doesn't just mean having stacks of cash. It means having the freedom to live the life you want, to buy what you desire, to go where you please, to support the people you love, and to grow into the best version of yourself. But here's the million-dollar question. If everyone has the right to be rich, why do so few actually achieve it? Why do some people accept that wealth is beyond their reach, while others seem to attract it effortlessly? Is it fate? Is it luck? Is it some miracle reserved for a chosen few? No, the reality is far simpler and far more empowering. Anyone who truly wants to be rich can become rich. Anyone. But here's the twist. It doesn't happen by accident. It happens by following certain laws, certain principles that govern the process of wealth. Wattles explained it clearly. People who become wealthy, whether they realize it or not, are working in a certain way. And people who struggle, no matter how hard they work, are missing that way. That's why you'll see two people in the same neighborhood running the same kind of business, yet one thrives while the other barely survives. Think about it. You've probably seen potters selling clay pots on the street. They work hard, they have skill, but they barely make enough to get by. Meanwhile, online, you'll find companies selling those same clay pots for triple the price, building million-dollar businesses out of the exact same product. What's the difference? It's not the clay. It's not the skill. It's the vision. It's the roadmap. It's the way of working. That's the science Wattles was talking about. And here's where most people get it wrong. They think hard work alone is enough. They think if they grind day and night, eventually success will come. But history proves otherwise. Hard work without direction is like running on a treadmill. You sweat, you struggle, but you stay in the same place. To become rich, you need more than effort. You need alignment. You need to understand the principles that govern wealth and apply them with precision. Now, let me ask you something that might sting a little. Have you ever wondered why two people can work equally hard, yet one builds an empire while the other barely pays rent? Why two people can start the same business in the same city with the same resources, yet one scales to millions while the other shuts down in a year? The difference isn't luck. It isn't fate. It's the science of getting rich in action. One person is unknowingly following the laws of wealth, while the other is blindly fighting against them. And here's the part that should excite you. These laws aren't secrets. They aren't locked away in some vault. They're available to anyone willing to learn and apply them. The environment doesn't matter. Your background doesn't matter. Your current bank balance doesn't matter. Because across the world, in every society, in every generation, people from every background have risen to wealth. If they can do it, why not you? But here's the warning. If you don't learn these principles, if you don't work in this certain way, then no matter how much effort you put in, wealth will slip through your fingers. You'll always feel like you're chasing, never arriving. And that's why so many people give up. They think it's impossible. They think it's not for them. But the truth is, they were simply missing the formula. So before you chase another opportunity, before you dive into another hustle, stop and ask yourself 2 questions. Am I capable of doing this work? And more importantly, am I doing it in the right way? Because capability without direction is wasted potential. But capability aligned with the science of getting rich, that's unstoppable. Friends, let me ask you something. Do you really have the skills and knowledge needed in your field? And if you do, then why is it that sometimes, even with talent, you still fail? Why is it that others, working in the same field, seem to rise higher, faster, stronger than you? The answer is simple. They are sharpening their skills while you are standing still. They are adapting, evolving, and embracing change. And if you truly want to become rich, you must master 2 skills above all others: the ability to change and the ability to accept. You cannot become rich by living inside your own world of imagination, where you keep telling yourself what can't be done. The moment your mind stops saying, "This is impossible," and starts treating extraordinary success as something natural, your journey to wealth truly begins. Because the key to becoming rich is not outside, it's within you. It's in your ability to understand and apply the principles of wealth. And here's the first principle: thought. Thought is the only power that can create riches from the formless. Every invention, every empire, every fortune began as nothing more than a thought. But here's the trap most people fall into. They desire wealth, but they compromise with what they already have. They dream, but they don't take their dreams seriously. If you want to transform imagination into reality, you must treat your thoughts as commands. When your mind decides it wants something, it begins to plot ways to achieve it. Yet so many people quit halfway. They say, "I don't have the resources." But think about it. Those who already have resources are already rich. The process of becoming rich begins with nothing. Isn't it foolish to say, "I won't start because I don't have capital"? Accumulating capital is part of the process. Complaining, saying, "If I had this, I would do that," is nothing but an excuse. If you truly know you can succeed in a business, you will find a way to gather the capital. Even if you believe you're the unluckiest person alive, there will still be a path. The only question is, will you walk it? Everything begins with mindset. As the saying goes, as you think, so you act. And as you act, so you become. The stronger your mindset, the greater your potential for success. But here's the question that haunts so many. Is wealth limited? Is it only for those who stumble upon the right opportunity? And if so, how do we create opportunities for ourselves? Most people blame failure on missed opportunities. They say, "If only I had grabbed that chance, I'd be rich today." But Wattles made it clear, no one is poor because opportunity was denied to them. People remain poor because they failed to convert opportunity into wealth. And here's the truth, opportunity is never lost. If one door closes, another opens. If one market becomes monopolized, it creates space for new markets to be born. Think about history. In the 1950s and 60s, the Silicon Era began. Computer chips were invented, and soon after came the Internet revolution. The pioneers of chips and computers became rich, yes, but so did countless others who built businesses around the new industries that followed. Today, almost every business depends on the Internet. That one invention created millions of opportunities. So don't tell yourself you missed your chance. Opportunity is not found, it is created. And your mind, if you train it, can create endless opportunities. Nature itself proves this. Everything evolves from a single substance, and that process never stops. Humans once walked on foot, then built carts, then bicycles, then cars, then airplanes. Each invention created new industries, new jobs, new fortunes. Nature always provides alternatives. You already have all the ingredients you need to become rich. You just need to process them, to align them, so they work like an automatic machine generating wealth for you. And it all comes back to thought. Your thoughts are the foundation of your wealth. Whatever direction your thoughts take, your creative energy follows. Let me give you an example. Imagine two friends, both from poor families. One says, "If I can just get a stable job, I'll be fine." His creative energy works towards stability, and that's exactly what he gets. Stability, but not wealth. The other says, "I don't just want stability, I want to be rich." His creative energy begins to work in that direction, and over time, opportunities appear, ideas form, and wealth begins to flow. The story of your life begins with your thoughts. If you think earning $50,000 a year is enough, your mind will stop once you reach it. But if you think, "I want $50,000 a month," your mind will begin plotting ways to make it happen. Not instantly, but gradually, your actions, your decisions, your energy will align with that vision, because the mind is always working to satisfy your deepest cravings. So ask yourself, what does it mean to be rich? Is it just money? Or is it freedom, growth, contribution? True wealth is not about sitting idle, avoiding work, or indulging in endless pleasure. That's not wealth, that's stagnation. Real wealth is about living fully, physically, mentally, and spiritually. It's about eating well, traveling the world, expanding your knowledge, and using your resources to help society grow. But here's the challenge. Our environment, our upbringing, our culture, they shape our mindset. From childhood, many are told, "You don't belong to that world. Wealth is not for you. God made you poor." These beliefs are passed from one generation to the next, trapping people in cycles of poverty. But Wattles shattered that myth. Rich and poor live in the same world. The difference is not fate, it's the way they think and act. Think of a seed planted in the ground. That one seed produces thousands more. Your thoughts work the same way. One thought produces many more, and over time, they shape your destiny. Knowledge creates curiosity. Curiosity creates new knowledge, and skills multiply into other skills. The more you desire wealth, the more your mind works to create it. But desire alone is not enough. You must act. Life itself is action. So why do you want to be rich? Not to avoid work, not to escape life, but to live it fully. To eat well, to see the world, to grow your mind, and to give back. That is the true purpose of wealth. And that is the science of getting rich. Yes, but becoming completely selfish for the sake of wealth or becoming completely charitable are both wrong. Friends, you have to get over the idea that God wants you to sacrifice yourself for others. God has nothing to do with this, friends. Rather, He wants you to create as much wealth as possible for yourself and then create it for others. You can help others by creating as much wealth as possible for yourself. The creative energy within you will help you become rich, but also remove the thought from within you that you are snatching something from others or that you're becoming rich will close the doors for them. They have their own creative energy, which can make them more or less rich than you. Therefore, no one is anyone's competition. You were born to create something new, not to compete with what someone else has already created. And those who understand this and never think about creating wealth by deceiving or taking advantage of others. You want to be a creator, not a competitor. Acquire what you want in a way that improves the lives of those who use it. Yes, I recognize that many people will disagree with me, and there's a reason for this. You'll find many millennials in our society who have become wealthy through their extraordinary skills in a competitive world. Especially in the business world, you'll find many examples of this. Competitive people do accumulate wealth, but if you learn about their personal lives, you'll realize that their lives are an illusion.
They appear wealthy only from the outside, but in reality, they struggle with debt and unstable wealth, which makes them unable to be happy despite having money.
In a competitive world, you have to constantly compete. You'll only have money as long as you compete, which means it's actually worse than that job, in which we are working for less money. Real wealth is when you generate wealth through your creativity, and that wealth keeps multiplying day by day. For example, there is a 150-year-old kachori shop in Chandni Chowk, and even today, people come from far and wide to eat there. Or there is a famous fashion designer who is known for his unique designer clothing. That is, anything that you create with your own mind, be it a product or a service, is your real wealth. If you invest it properly, you too can become rich. What resources are necessary to become rich? How can you attract those things that generate wealth for you? Any revenue money or wealth is generated from some source. Like a shop earns money by selling goods. That is, that product is its source of income from which its wealth is being generated. Similarly, some tools and resources are present in our environment to become rich. If you have them, then they can themselves become rich. Like a magnet, money attracts you, but this is only possible if you first start giving others a little more than they need. That is, giving them back a little more than you receive.
For example, if you buy goods at a store, there's no need to always bargain, especially if the product or service is reaching its value. Yes, but this doesn't mean you pay someone more than their value. It simply means you should never deal unfairly with others. Someone who has nothing won't get anything from you even if you bargain. Yes, but if you give others more than you take from them, it increases your value. Vasily Tull says about this in his book, The Science of Getting Rich. You can't give everyone more than the cash value in the market, but you can definitely offer them something whose use value exceeds the cash value. For example, the paper or ink used to print a book has no value in the eyes of the customer. He will never pay you for it. Yes, but the information, stories, or ideas contained in that book add a lot of value to your life. After reading it, if your knowledge increases, new ideas arise, or you get emotional satisfaction, then it means that the book is justifying its price. Let's imagine that I have a painting by a famous artist. Now, in any society, that painting would be worth at least 10 lakh rupees. But if I sell that painting to a person from a lower class, will he understand its value? No, for him that painting has no value. Instead, if I gave him 1 rupee, he would probably be happier, because he would feel that he could buy food. This is the difference when you move from a computer to a creative plane. A creative person strictly scrutinizes every business transaction. If you are selling your customers something that is not adding any value to their lives, or is not fulfilling the requirement for which they paid, then you should definitely end your business there. But you should stop. And yes, if you're in a business, job, or profession where your creativity isn't naturally able to outshine others, you should leave it. To be successful and generate wealth, you need to add maximum value to others' lives through your services or products. Only then will you be able to extract the same amount of cash value from them. If you have people working for you, you should pay them a little more than their service value, because this way you'll be able to extract more cash value from them than their wages. You need to be for your employees what this audiobook explanation is working for you. You need to give them a new path, a new vision, and mental satisfaction. No one is telling you to pay them extra. You can't even pay them more than the market price. But friendly working environment, proper growth opportunities, appreciation, and salary on time are the valuable factors that will encourage your employees to work better for you. Always remember, be sure to join this wealth creation process. You are at the center. Every decision you make will slow or speed up this process and perhaps even ruin it. If you're having issues in your business, it means there's a flaw in your vision process. You're making a mistake somewhere. But most people, instead of understanding this, take out their anger on their employees. Your job is to make this process smooth, easy, and qualitative day by day. If your products are failing or your company's employees are unhappy with you, it means you're lacking somewhere. The original creation that people see as a product, service, or art comes from within you, so it requires your full effort. To keep it alive, you have to give it your full energy. Only then will it be able to give you what you desire, be it fame or wealth. I once saw a child playing the piano. He was trying to play the piano keys but couldn't. I asked him what was the reason for his frustration, and he said, "I feel that music is in me, but I can't quite place my hands in the right place." When he said that music is in him, it refers to the creative energy I've been talking about so far. That energy holds all the possibilities of life within him. That special energy wants to live on in that child in the form of music. So he said that he wants to build his hands in such a way that he can play the spiritual drum that is within him. Paint the picture that until now only his inner soul has seen. This means that that energy exists within all of us in some form or another. We just need to cultivate it like that child. And that is real wealth, where you are able to bring that energy to life and feel it within yourself. But the problem with many people is that they still carry the idea that poverty and self-sacrifice are the easiest ways to impress God. When this is not true, friends, God wants you to sing and feel the music. Look at everything beautiful. Recognize the truth. Wear good clothes and eat good food. He has given you the power to be happy, to have things that can soothe your body, soul, and mind. I'm reminded of a student who told me that he had a clear picture in his mind of what he wanted, which means that the energy within him had already begun to work towards achieving that desire. He was a poor student who lived in a rented house and used to cover his expenses with whatever he earned. Therefore, his mind knew very well that he couldn't hold on to all his earnings. After much thought, he decided to buy a new rack to lay on the floor and a stove to keep the house warm in the winter. He started working in that direction to get these two things. After a few months of hard work, he bought both. Then he realized that he hadn't asked for enough things. He went to his house where he used to live
and after looking at that house, he imagined in his mind that house. He added all those things to create his ideal home. Then, with that picture of his ideal home in his mind, he began to live that way and push himself in that direction. We all have such desires, but very few of us convert them into actual desires and try to achieve them. But friends, the truth is that to fulfill our desires, we first need to have clarity about them in our minds, and then our emotions must also be attached to them. Why is it important? What is mental adjustment and how to convert your thoughts into a process? The first step to achieving it is that idea or desire that anchors the energy within you to work in that direction. Those who understand this have no complaints about life, nor are they affected by any success or failure, because that person's mind has understood this process. Only if the mental adjustment and attunement necessary for this process are made. If I had to sum it up in one word, that word would be gratitude. Being thankful and kind for that special thing within you requires first believing that there is an intelligent substance that processes everything. Second, you must believe that it can give you whatever you need. And third, you must be grateful for the power within you. Simply put, learn to respect what you have. But how do you do that? Learn to cultivate that skill or talent and take advantage of what you have, because it belongs to you and is for you. If someone has a beautiful voice but doesn't respect it or take care of it, it's an insult to the power that God has given you. Therefore, you must have noticed that even the greatest singers are conscious about their diet so that it doesn't damage their voice. Gargling and practicing daily in the morning are part of their routine because they know that their voice will be damaged. Without voice, they do not have a career, whereas many people who are living in poverty also live such a life. Many people are living because they don't respect their talent or skills. And many people, even after spending their entire lives, don't even recognize their special power. It's very easy to understand that the closer you stay to wealth sources, the more wealth you will generate in your life. Just as the closer you stay to your soul, the closer you will find yourself to God. It all starts from our mind. The better we fix our mind, the more good things will come to us automatically. They will never decrease, but will only increase. If you still don't believe me, then look at the good things around you. All the good things you have received in life so far have come to you because of following a certain law. If you want true friends to find them, you first have to be honest and kind to others. You have to take time to understand the pain of others, and in return you get some good, strong relationships. Similarly, the more you respect your creativity, the better it will cultivate this process of success in your mind. You will be able to achieve every possible goal. It helps you see the positive aspects and prevents you from making mistakes. This is the law of gratuity, which is very important for you to understand, especially if you want meaningful results in your life. The law of gratuity is a natural principle that means that action and reaction are always equal, both in front of each other and in opposite directions. This means that the more you run away from your creativity, the further your success and wealth will move away from you. If you keep your mind in a weak environment, it will become weaker with each passing day because it is consuming similar things. A weak mind assumes that it has no power and will have to live like this. But if you change this attitude and surround your mind with the best, feed it what motivates it to move forward and motivate it to achieve what others have, then it will also become the best. Our creative power works on the process of the image of the entire world that we give it. We are a thinking substance, a mind whose job is to create things through its thoughts. Grateful minds work like this. They prepare themselves to be the best. They believe that they have the power and right to taste and experience every best thing in the world. But most of us pay more attention to our physical appearance than our mind, so we are unable to change our destiny. Your faith creates your greatness. A strong mind continues to grab good things, after which its expectations become its faith. Whereas those who are unable to make themselves mentally strong or cannot have faith in their creative energy, their expectations get dissipated. Therefore, those who do not have a greatness within them cannot have faith either. Without faith, you cannot become rich through any creative method. The moment you give your mind permission to jump into the well of despair, you lose your position in this survival game. But the moment you decide to fix things, your mind comes out of that well. When we like something, our nervous system sends signals and we then work hard to achieve it. The same formula applies to success. Our creative power focuses its energy on the one image we focus on the most. Suppose you need R or 100,000 for some work next month. Your mind will present you with every suggestion you can make to earn that money. Similarly, when you decide what you want to do, your mind will provide you with suggestions for achieving that career. Whichever path you choose, your creative energy will begin to be invested in that direction. How to direct your thoughts in the right direction? What is the greatest wealth in the world and why? Sometimes even rich people seem to bow down to those who are far below them in terms of money. Friends, you'll remember in the last episode I told you about a student who created an image of his house in his mind and then focused his energy on it to achieve it. You must have understood that to get something or become rich, you first need to create a clear image of it in your mind. There are many types of wealth, but you must be clear about the kind of wealth you want. There are more than 99999 ways to earn money in this world, but you have to decide how you want to earn it. What is the difference between a mafia and a businessman? A mafia makes money illegally, but he is not respected in society. People do not look at him favorably. No one wants such wealth, but a businessman makes money by selling goods or services. Because of him, many other people get the opportunity to earn money. He is also fulfilling people's needs. Therefore, in our eyes, he is truly rich. You must have noticed that businessmen, celebrities, or sports players who have assets worth crores often bow down before someone who, although not as rich as them, possesses a wealth of knowledge, which is called wealth of knowledge. And in the true sense, the one who possesses knowledge is the richest person in the world. Why? Because they have the power to survive in every situation. Even if they get lost in a jungle for a day, they will find a way to survive with their knowledge. Therefore, it is important that you do what you want in a certain way so that you can get the desired results. Many people complain that despite working hard, they are not able to get what many people get without effort. There are two reasons for this. First, they are working hard, but not in a certain way that will yield results. If you do nothing, that is, you have a job but still are not able to develop your skills, then it is your fault. You have to accept that there is something lacking in your way of working, which you need to change. Your wealth never increases because of your hard work, but because of the skills developed through that hard work. The second reason is that you lack vision. You are working hard and doing it correctly, but your vision isn't clear about where you want to go next. Unless your vision is clear, you won't be able to utilize your creative energy. And the process of a journey is as important as vision and creative power. Just as a car's engine must function properly to drive, similarly, utilizing your creative power in a certain way is essential for your vision to come true. Therefore, first, spend as much time as possible understanding what you really want.
A person who knows what they want in life doesn't have to constantly remind themselves of it. Their mind automatically starts working in that direction. Therefore, those who want to become rich must first strengthen themselves enough to overcome their mental burdens. You don't need to pray to God daily for what you want. God has already given you that power. You just need to learn to use it. Your prayers will only be fulfilled when you take the first step. The results of your prayers will be based on your actions, not your faith. Suppose you desire an expensive car, but wishing for it to come to you automatically isn't possible. Friends, prayer has an impact and yields results. Prayer strengthens your vision and strengthens your faith, and the image you form of your dream becomes clearer. However, prayer alone cannot achieve what you desire. You need to go a step further and transform it into a process. Many people, even without verbal prayer, are successful because they pray through their actions. Performing actions and telling themselves, "Have faith, you will receive it," is the true form of prayer, and we call it our willpower. Yes, but it also needs to be used correctly. Friends, willpower is present within everyone, but very few people know how to apply it in the right place. Willpower transforms your creative energy into action, which results in an increase in your wealth. However, you cannot use your willpower to become rich, and you cannot use it on others to make them rich. This is absolutely wrong. What is the right way to use power, and how can you convert it into energy? We'll learn about this in the next episode. Friends, many people mentally force others to achieve what they want, which is a very wrong approach. For example, a man started his own company, but after some time, his business started incurring losses. Now, if we look at it, the owner is responsible for that loss because he failed to execute his idea. But instead of correcting his mistake, the owner blames his workers for it and forces them to work extra hours, which means he wants to force his losses on his workers. You have no right to use other people for your own benefit, even if it benefits them. If you do this, you won't be able to enjoy that wealth for long. In the science of getting rich, you don't need to force your mental power on others, just as you don't need to repeatedly request God to give you things. Get what you want in life or expect your parents or partner to fulfill your needs. It is completely useless. You have the power to get what you want, so there is no need to use your willpower to please or force anyone. When you understand what you want and how you want it, use your willpower not in shortcuts but in thinking in a definite way to get that thing. The more consistently and regularly you follow your purpose and faith, the more positive impact it will have on your creative power, and the faster it will start getting nourished, and the formless image of your designs, which till now was only an imagination in your mind, will start converting into reality. Like a chemical reaction, everything present in the environment around you will start working for you. This will force the minds of those around you to work in accordance with your designs. However, keep in mind that negative impressions weaken this natural scientific phenomenon. Everything in the environment continuously repeats this process to maintain its form. The moment a feeling of doubt or disbelief arises in you due to failure, this process will begin to work in the opposite direction, and gradually your created things and efforts will become useless. Seawater evaporates and rises into the sky, forming clouds. These clouds then collide with the mountains and return to the earth as water. Imagine if the seawater never evaporates, or if the clouds stop raining. Will this cycle continue? To maintain the balance of the environment, they have to repeat this process again and again. The same science applies to us. If you are expecting something to work, you must channel your creative energy into the same process again and again without getting discouraged. Or you'll have to keep investing tirelessly. Remember, it's foolish to get discouraged before results. And until you achieve your desire, you've already failed. No. If people in this world who are working towards their desired wealth fail, it's not their creative energy that's at fault, but their process and willpower. Whether you come first or last in the race depends on your strength, natural stamina, willpower, and practice. To win a gold medal in the Olympics, athletes from many countries participate together, practicing for years and defeating thousands of athletes from their own country with their creative energy to reach this position. But even here, they have to perform the same process again. And their willpower, winning that gold medal today, and whether they win or lose at the Olympics, they will have to return home and prepare for the next Olympics. Similarly, your wealth gates are open as long as you work continuously in that direction with your willpower. Your belief is your strength, which will guide your thoughts and remind you what you should actually prioritize. If you want to become rich, you don't need to think about your poverty, because the more you think about it, the more your actual desires will drift away from you. If someone wants to stay healthy, they won't think about illness. So, don't think about poverty or try to understand it. There's no point in thinking about why you're poor. That has nothing to do with you. Your concern should be medicine. There's no need to waste your time doing charitable work or running charity movements. Friends, I don't mean to say that you should become stone-hearted and ignore the voice of your needs, but you should keep poverty as far away from your thinking as possible. Even if you want to do good to someone, the best way is to be honest with your work. If you keep thinking only about poverty, you will only strengthen that image. You won't be able to hold in your mind for long enough the idea that can make you rich. This means that no one can come out of poverty simply by keeping the image of poverty in their mind. This thinking will only make them poorer. Like Steve Jobs, the founder of Apple, who used to sell Coca-Cola bottles during his college days and was so poor that he would go to the Gurudwara to get food to eat. Today, even though he is no longer in this world, he is remembered as an inspiration because he started the world's best tech brand, Apple. If he had kept crying about his bad circumstances, he might never have been able to come out of that life. Therefore, if anyone wants to achieve something in their life, they must get rid of this thinking and set the image of becoming rich in their mind. Only then will success follow them. Converting any vision into wealth requires efficient action. Start from where you are and do what you can. You should try everything that is possible for you, wherever you are. Whatever you're doing, you can become more advanced than your present life. But for that, you have to stop regretting the present. All the successful people in the world became better than ordinary people only because they gave more to their present. The world's progress happened only because of those who didn't just sit there holding on to their positions. Many of them came from ordinary families or even lower classes, but their efforts changed both them and society. No society is changed by those who earn less than their position or put in even less effort to stay in the place they are in. All the social evolution that has taken place in the world is due to law, physical, and mental evolution. Every day you either gain something or lose something, and these are called successful destiny, which takes you to what you want. If every day is a failure, you can never become rich. And if every day is a success, you will never fail to become rich. It's impossible to achieve every success because no one can be so perfect that they can't make mistakes. So accept failure as a part of your life. Yes. But if you have to do something but you're not doing it because you're afraid of failing, the consequences will be worse than your failure. because it will tarnish your image of being rich and your creative power will lose focus. You can never understand that you're delaying the combination that the Supreme Intelligence is preparing for you in this world because of a small day-to-day failure. But this doesn't mean you should overwork or finish tomorrow's work today or the entire week's work in one day. This is also wrong, and that's because the number of tasks you complete doesn't matter. What's important for you is your efficiency. Every act is either a failure or a success. Every act is either effective or inefficient. Every inefficient act is a failure. And if you spend your entire life trying to achieve it, if you spend your time performing inefficient actions, your entire life will be a failure. The more bad things you do to yourself, the more your image will deteriorate. On the other hand, the more efficient actions you incorporate into your life, the greater your success will be. Many times, the reason for failure is doing too many things in an inefficient manner. On the other hand, every efficient act becomes a stepping stone to success. The more efficient actions you perform, the more progress you make in life. You can transform each action into success by performing it in the right manner because the creative power within you is working with you. When you put all your energy into something, that action can never fail. Every action is either strong or weak. Just as the harder you hit a stone, the greater the chances of it breaking. Therefore, perform any task with full strength and you will automatically become rich. The biggest reason for the failure of most people who fail despite being successful is that they lack their mental strength, and people who keep their individual actions separate will have a proper image of their dream in their mind and know what they need to do to turn that dream into reality. But instead of performing the correct action, they follow a different path. They use their mental power at one time and perform the action in another time zone. This is the reason why their vision and action are not connected and they fail. What I mean to say is that whenever you sit down to do any work, you must keep your vision in your mind. Doing so will reduce the chances of negligence or mistakes in your work. Success is also a business in which you cannot succeed without a well-developed department. It is just like becoming a music teacher. You first need a good musical faculty. Without mechanical faculties, no one can become a mechanical engineer. For us, those faculties are different tools through which we shape our vision, guide our creative energy to work in the right direction, and then complete that task. We perform for mental strength, which can lead us to success. You can become rich by doing any business or work, even those for which you have no talent. Because sometimes you have the ability, but you have to develop that skill yourself. This means that if you don't have that tool, then create it and use it to advance your journey. Instead of spending your life with limited knowledge acquired during your developing age, you can easily become rich with just a little effort. If you devote yourself to the work you are best at or the work that best suits your nature, in simple words, if you do what you want to do, you will become rich very easily because that work will never let you feel tired and you will start enjoying it. When you start enjoying something, you lose track of time. Friends, if you want to be successful in any field, it is important to have a desire for it, because it is desire that we manifest and convert into power. Music can only be learned if you have a desire to learn a musical instrument or sing, because this feeling within us encourages us to learn it. The stronger our desire for something, the better we become in that field. Someone can even make a mechanical device if they have a desire to learn mechanical engineering. If you don't have a desire for something, it means that that power is missing within you or hasn't been activated yet. Therefore, it's important to ask yourself this question. What do you like? What do you want? Is what you're doing right now your actual desire? Or is it something else you've suppressed within your heart? There's no art, product, or service in the world that can't make you rich. But for that, you have to accept your desire. Therefore, you may have noticed that there's a huge difference between the success, wealth, and fame of people working in the same profession. This difference is there. It's because of desire and belief. Therefore, do what you want to do every day, in the right way. Go as fast as you can without worry, fear, or haste. But there's no need to rush. The moment you rush to achieve something, you turn from a creator into a competitor, and then return to your old path, which leads you not to success, but to failure. This is because a creator dedicates himself to his art. For him, appreciation for his art is the greatest wealth. He doesn't want to spoil his art in any way. If a creator is going to sell a product in the market, he will focus on the quality of that product. An actor's focus is on his acting, how well he can act. This is true creation. But instead of creating something unique, a competitor keeps thinking about how to outdo others. Therefore, always being aware of the competitive mind is a simple rule of the principle of creative action. What I want for myself is what I want for myself. I wish this for everyone. It doesn't matter whether you're a teacher, a doctor, or anything else. If you're committed to improving people's lives through your work, and you can do so, they will automatically be attracted to you. A doctor who has the vision to improve himself so much that he can cure every patient, and for this purpose, he uses his creative power to develop his skills, will find patients coming to him on their own. No matter which medical school he attended, if he has a clear vision of his success in his mind and follows the law of faith, purpose, and get-to-be, he will surely be successful in treating the patients who come to him. Never wait for an opportunity to come to show you how to do something, because there's no greater opportunity than the present. Whatever you want to do, you must take action today. The person who has advanced his life and learned to use his creative power is the one who has. There's nothing in this world that lacks officers. They can make themselves successful anywhere, at any age, and the interesting thing is that such people never become poor again. You must have read about many people who achieve success through their own efforts, but are unable to maintain it, and after some time, their success gets lost in the crowd. This is because they are unable to convert themselves into advancement. Now, there are many people who believe that the supply of wealth is limited. Government institutions, rich industrialists, or other high-ranking people hold this wealth, which is why most people are middle class. Now, it's true that the mass of society's population is in the middle class, but not because they hold all the wealth, but because they prevent them from thinking or taking action in a certain way. But the fault lies more with you. You are allowing them to control your mind, the mind which you should have controlled, which is a part of your body. There is no control over it. Someone else is doing it, and you accept whatever they show you as the world. In such a situation, how can you blame anyone else for your middle-class life? And this is the difference between a rich person and a middle-class person. A rich person never lets anyone control him because he knows that the moment he gives this power to others, he will become a slave to others even if he has wealth worth crores. This means that whatever you need to become rich, you already have it. You just have to learn to use that power. Forget the myth that if you had better resources, you would have done something better in your life. Just because someone has a slight advantage over you in the race, it does not mean that you lost the race. In the end, the winner is the one who reaches the finishing line first, not the one who started the race first.